The Colts don't know when Big Q or Carson Wentz will be 100% to play. And in that sake, Irsay stated in an interview that he was questioned earlier about Carson Wentz returning. He said he will not want Carson to play until he is fully 100%. Now, of course, Carson Wentz wants to come back earlier than that, and he feel like he can play at 50 or 75%. Hey, maybe with 40 or 30. You look at him out there in the training camps, you see him out there with no boot, walking around, getting some reps in like there's nothing wrong. Big Q, on the other hand, is in a boot. Sorry about that. Is in a boot and, sidelined until further notice. But like I said, some Warriors can come back from injuries faster than others. Like I said, with an injury history, him knowing about the injury, getting it removed and having successful surgery. Both of these guys I'm talking about. But for Carson Wentz's sake, having the surgery, knowing about the issue back in high school, having it linger, but, getting it removed to be fully healthy. I feel like this is a good sign as well for the Colts and Carson Wentz's sake as well. Getting the bone removed that was bothering him. There wasn't really an issue in general. Just getting it done before the season starts is always a good sign, especially knowing that he wants to go out there and play football. Like I said, having him come back before week 4 is a blessing. I feel like he'll probably be 100% before week 1. Hey, maybe he might even lie. Maybe he might say, hey, I'm ready to go. And maybe he might make up a story and say he's 100% when he's probably not. But hey, it's Carson Wentz. It wouldn't surprise me. Like I said in the other video, I expected him to come back before maybe week 5. And, the rumors, I feel like I was the first one to break the news. But, I probably won't get credit for it, but it is what it is. But rumor has it that Big Q and Carson may both be available at week 1. And that'll be a good sign for the Colts because we need all the stars that we can have. We're losing people left and right. EJ Speed went down with a leg injury earlier today. That sucked. But it's like, man, everyone's getting hurt in training camp. I had a list of players that was getting hurt. I'm just going to pull it up right now. But yeah, like I said, EJ Speed, he went down with an injury. It was his left leg earlier today with the joint camp with the Panthers. Sean Davis, he left the field earlier. The one that used to play for the Steelers. He had an injury. It sucks, man. It really does. Because we have a lot of injuries. And the season hasn't even started yet. It's just Nyheim Hines went down with an injury. His right leg. It's a bunch of leg injuries. I don't know what the heck is going on. Even I noticed that Doug Peterson was at the camp. I don't know what the heck he was doing at the practice, but he was there talking to Coach Frank Wright. Braden Smith was back on the field today. That's some good sign. But, Doug Peterson was at the camp today. That's kind of a shocker. Most people was talking about, does Carson know that he's there because they feel like they have this beef. But I thought that was kind of funny. But all these injuries before the season starts is just, it's unfortunate for the Colts because we have a very, optimistic season ahead of us, I would say. No one really knows the potential we know the potential of the Colts, but we don't know how really good we will be until the season comes among us. Us knowing how tough the schedule is, but hey, man, we're still out there playing some good football. Mike Strong's out there looking like a beast. Michael Pittman Jr., he's out there doing his thing. Xavier Rhodes, he's iffy. He got cooked by Robbie Anderson on a few plays, but like I said, Xavier Rhodes isn't the fastest corner in the world, so Robbie Anderson's a speedster, so most of them plays that he might give up is going to be expected, but we know how good Xavier Rhodes can be when the game lights are on. So, that didn't really bother me. Plus, it was like one-on-ones. It wasn't really like a full game, so I feel like adjustments like other secondary help would do a thing. Julian Blackman's still out, but I think he'll be good to go when the regular season starts. But, Irsay stating that Carson Wentz thing, hey, man, I totally get it. I would definitely want Carson Wentz to be 100%, especially using him when we need him. Especially if Jacob Eason and Sam Ehlinger goes out there, either or, if one of them goes out there and performs like a number 1 quarterback and they out there put on the show. Now, of course, we're still going to have this argument about who will be the starting quarterback or who's better, but it is what it is at the end of the day. Jacob Eason had a better performance today instead of Ehlinger. Hopefully that gives some Ehlinger fans, to quiet up a little bit. Like we said, Eason's the starter. As much as you don't want to accept it, I'm pretty sure we all know this by now, but Eason's going to be the starter going into week 1. Like I said, they're going to be splitting reps from every day. I mean, every day of camp, every practice, probably preseason, they're going to be splitting snaps as well. So, I mean, this is not a debate or an argument or anything. They're going to be just doing this. Coach Frank stated it. This not has anything. So if one outperforms the other, I'm pretty sure Easton's still going to start at the end of the day anyway. Like I said, but yeah, Michael Pittman Jr. is having a good one. Strong having a good camp. Pascal's still out there. Kyler Granson, he's looking good. That's a good sign as well. But, Marlon Mack and Jonathan Taylor, they're still doing their thing. Praise up to Naheem Hines as well. That injury kind of shocked me. I didn't expect him to go down. Hopefully he can bounce back. But like I said, we have a lot of depth on this Colts roster that a lot of people probably doesn't know about. The defensive line still looking good. I know a lot of people were slandering the defensive line because they said they were going up against, subpar offensive linemen because it's not our top guys. But they look good against the Panthers as well. So hopefully that'll give you a sign to know where the motive is for the defensive line going into the season. Is that, some of these guys are really just that good. Ben Bandigood had another good day against the Carolina Panthers. So hopefully, that'll just quiet some of the doubters out there and give you a full perspective. Like, hey, man, this defensive line can definitely, have potential to be scary. If they can keep the momentum. Like I said, the training camps and the practices can carry on into the regular season. I'm not saying it for everybody, but for some players, they can usually carry this momentum from the practices and the training camps and transpire it into the regular season. Now, of course, some of these guys may be training camp frauds. Not from the Colts perspective, but some other teams, some guys, they go into the camps and they look like, oh, okay, these guys are good. Don't want to name slander, but guys like, Brock Osweiler of the world, those guys, those backup quarterbacks that you usually see on a lot of, camp rosters or those practice squads, they find a way to get on a roster, but then when the time comes up and they actually play in a real team, they teams that go silent. But, the Colts, I feel like the Colts really have elite talent. I really do. I really feel like they have elite talent. Does that make them perfect? No. But I feel like they have enough to pay the bills. You know what I mean? I feel like this team is good enough to win a few games out there. Of course, when you're looking at the division as well, I feel like our only real threat is the Tennessee Titans. The Jaguars are still a question mark. This is no knock on the Jaguars, but I think they can be pretty good as well. But, like I said, I feel like this team can go out there and win some games. Of course, we have to stay healthy, but I feel like with the chemistry and the way that the camps are going, I feel like they can go out there and do a good job. But you guys let me know your thoughts on Carson Wentz. The statement that Irsay said he don't want him back until he's 100%. Let me know your thoughts on that comment. Let me know your thoughts about Carson Wentz coming back early and everything. All these things in the comment section. Follow all the links in the bio, in the description. This is Marcus, and until next time, you've been Culture Shock.